Welcome back. We are here on the Mountain Outpost YouTube channel. This is the Javelina Jundred pre-race series of interviews presented by Hoka and the Feed. Chris Warden.
Leah Yingling.
And this is a guy that if you've been paying any attention to the American running scene and the ultra scene for the past few years, you've seen him all over your computer screens and all over your phones. Justin Grunewald, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Justin, we're really excited to see you out here at Javelina. I think this is your first time attempting Javelina, but you are no stranger to golden ticket races. Most recently, I think, missing out by one spot in 2 races. Talk a little bit about what's bringing you to Javelina this year.
Yeah, it's been a weird year. Amanda, my partner, and I both do this thing of chasing golden tickets. So my work schedule didn't work out for any golden ticket races other than this one. So it's been a long time coming. I had a race early in the year, was Tarawara in New Zealand, and now a big training block, and here we are, so ready to give it hell.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about your work schedule, because I think when I'm looking at this entrance list, there's a lot of people who run full-time and probably don't balance having 2 kids and are physicians. So talk a little bit about how you guys balance that.
Yeah, I mean, our work-life balance doesn't exist. I work like a 90-hour week in the hospital. Amanda coaches me. She knows I need probably a down week at that time, but I usually try to run more miles than hours worked to keep the quality of life high. I actually travel to Minnesota to work, so I don't perform child duties at that time, so it actually makes it sustainable, but it puts an extra burden on her. But yeah, I think we formed a little crew in Colorado around a year ago before Chris Meyer got his golden ticket. We're the small boys. We all work full time. We do it for the love of the game, and here we are.
Justin, my introduction to you as a runner was at Black Canyon, I believe it was 2021. And one of the things that I was amazed by was your willingness to full send with just a few meters to go, with nothing more on the line than pride and the willingness to leave it all out there. Can you talk about what happened at that race and why you did what you did at the very end of that race?
Yeah, long 100K story short. It was like thick of the pandemic, I think. I had a 1-month-old at home, which always makes life interesting. Rylan, our first, was born a month earlier. But I was having an okay day. I got some weird chicken parmesan, Billy Yang, and I got dinner at the only place in like Prescott that existed as like a gas station diner, and it didn't sit well. So multiple porta potty stops in the first like 15 miles, and then like felt great, ran to 40 miles and just imploded gastrointestinally again. Craig Hunt was walking, I think, and he had been in first, so then I knew I was in third, but stopped with some cactus and sat there for a good hour.
Oh my God.
And then Billy talked me into going at 50, and he's like, just pretend each person in front of you is a golden ticket. Like, you're not going to get a golden ticket, but who cares? Get a buckle. And I did that, I guess, and I think Ben Koss was somewhere in the distance, and obviously the live stream made it much more dramatic, being like, there's no one there. And then as it came to the cow gate or whatever, we were
literally the final 50 meters of the course.
Yeah, we had a little fun dash in, which was fun. And it just, I've had a year now where I've finished all my races. I'm in a really, really good headspace, and I'm like grateful for this sport and what it's given me. But honestly, like a year ago, I was drinking a shit ton of beer. I woke up for Canyons hungover and managed third place, like fairly hungover. So it is what it is. But Amanda said, if you don't have a good day with like you as your best self tomorrow, like God, like it's something bad happened. So I think I'm, for the first time ever, in my best space in this sport, and it makes me excited. It'll be hot, and we'll see what happens. But just excited to make myself the best person I can be out there.
That's amazing to hear you say that, because I think watching you at Canyons 100K a few years ago, you were having a phenomenal race, and I think your tracker was all over the place. You went a little bit off the radar, and nobody really knew what was going to happen. But like, you nearly know that race, and to hear you say you nearly know that race with a lesser version of yourself than you would have liked to show up makes me really excited to see what happens when the best version of Justin shows up. So talk a little bit about what cutting back on drinking the last year gave for you, what your fitness has, like the confidence you've been gaining from all of that.
Yeah, I think so. A wise old man, Mario Fraioli, he coached me a long time ago. When my first wife passed away, he basically told me if your heart's not happy, ultra running is going to be infinitely harder. And he was 100% right. And in life, alcohol is a depressant, and I used it a lot for a long time. Not like on paper, it's like I'm a doctor, so I know the exact limit you can drink before you're like an alcoholic. So I'm like, I'm not there, but not a good place. But it helped me sleep, it helped me cope, it helped me do whatever. But then going off it, I still do, like I may have a Finish Line beer, I may not. Like Tarawar, I ordered a beer after. It tasted absolutely terrible. I ate my burger and left the restaurant. So I'm not going to get a gold token for being 100% sober, and I think that's celebrated and important, but it's not me. Like, I still will enjoy a beer because I love beer, like I do, but I need to love it in moderation and happiness. But more so than the running side, it's made me a better dad, a better partner. Like, I just don't get irritated at my kids. I don't get skeptical with my relationship, like all those things. So I think just making myself a better human has made me a better runner. And yeah, I'm not going to show up at the start line tomorrow like burping out a triple IPA. So that'll be nice as well.
Justin, you had a couple of very close near misses in chasing golden tickets. How do you reconcile the fact that, like, you know, you come so close, but also like you want to use that to help drive and motivate you, but also not get frustrated? There's got to be a hard balance there to try and reconcile, because you're such a talented runner, and it's just like you've had just almost a good enough day to do it multiple times, and it's just like we know it's going to happen. It's just a question of when. So
the honest truth is, I've never felt ready to run Western States. I told Billy at Black Canyon if I got a golden ticket, pending who was third, it was likely going to go to them if I like them enough as a human.
That's important.
Legitimately. Like, if I don't like them, I'm probably just going to keep it in. But this isn't even, like, all joking aside, Matt Daniels is a huge, like, icon to me. He's got more talent than anyone in the field, but he's had stuff in life come up, like hard things come up, and life is hard and it's super hard. So at Canyons, I passed him moving into second, and I said, dude, if you can hang, I'll pass the ticket to you. Like, let's do this. And he had a hard day, and I ended up not even getting tickets, so it didn't matter. But I legitimately still didn't feel ready. And I'm 38, I'm old as shit. Like, I'm too old for this sport. But then I see guys like Ludovic, and I'm like, maybe I'm not too old, because I learn something new every time out. But now I'm ready for a ticket. So I think tomorrow I can do that. I feel ready. I will accept the ticket. The only scenario I don't accept it in is if Matt, the asshole, is third and I'm second. He can have the ticket. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he wins. But if he's third, the ticket's yours, Matt.
So when I look at this men's race tomorrow, it's really dynamic. A lot of like different racing personalities, a lot of different racing tactics. Can you share a little bit about how you'll be approaching just the competition side of things tomorrow?
I'm here to celebrate. I ran a race 3 or 4 weeks ago, Westline Winder in Buena Vista, and I expected to run 4 hours by myself through beautiful Buena Vista. But Ryan Smith, who's a super elite boulder runner, showed up, and I was like, oh shoot, he's gonna make me work. And he did. But we chatted as dads. He has a daughter, she just broke a bone, and he's got this Rocky Mountain runner group, and he does so much for the sport. And we just talked about the sport and parenthood and life and working, and he's like won Leadville, top 3 at Hard Rock. He's a super phenomenal guy. So we just shot the breeze for 3 hours and 30 minutes. And then he basically said, go ahead, I'm hurting a little bit. And that's how we did it. But I just want to talk to my buddies tomorrow. I respect the weather. I know some people are saying the weather's nothing, but it's going to be hotter than hell, and people will die. I'm not out here to suffer. I'm out here to have fun, and I'm going to cool and I'm going to be meticulous about ice and fluids and calories. Everything's calculated. Every ice cube's counted. I learned from Tyler Green, the best in the sport. So I'm not going to like say I'm not afraid of the weather, because it's going to wreck a ton of people. And I'm guessing there'll be a 75% DNF rate in the elite field, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Well, actually, that's an interesting thing to say, because I feel like this field is so deep, and traditionally what we see out here at Javelina every single year is that the front of the pack comes out faster by several minutes. It's the same thing you see at Western States. Like every year, the front pack, the chase pack gets a little bit faster. Are you worried, or are you conscious enough to know that, like, you know that you're in for being part of that chase pack, or if it does go out to that like hot level, are you content to just kind of wait back and let the carnage drop drop people along the way, and then jump in where you see fit?
I have Chris Meyer joining me at 60. I have Amanda joining me at 80. So those are the parts of the race I'm really looking forward to. I will start semi-conservative. Your body is an engine. It heats as you go. John Ray overheated, and I think the high was 80 degrees last year. He said he overheated on his fourth lap. I ran with him a week ago. He gave me a ton of wisdom. He's small boy number 1. We rank ourselves because...
What are you, small boy number 2? Then?
I'm 3. Chris is 2. We got M9 and M10, and I'm just M wannabe. So I'm working on my bearings. We have a whole list of... I might not even be 3. Finn, we got a young gun coming up, and he's probably 3, so I'm 4. But no, it's going to be hot. I ran with Tyler, and he was hot, and it was like the last lap I did with him, I was wearing a sweatshirt, but this is like outrageously hot. So have fun, boys that are going to bring it all hard. The small boys will be coming later.
Yeah, I think it was 87 degrees last night at 7:30 p.m., which is around the time when the lead men should be finishing. So it's going to be hot on that 5th lap. So yeah. I like hearing you say that you're going to respect that, because I think it's going to be tough for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, and if it bites me, it bites me. Yeah. But I'm here to finish, and I'm here to... I've never finished a 100-miler, so I got to get a belt buckle.
You have to. Yes. I was going to say, it's nice to hear that Amanda gets to pace you for the last lap. It's probably not often you two get to share many miles together.
Our miles have been limited the past, since UTMB. We haven't had a nanny. We haven't had childcare for our 2-year-old, our 3-year-olds in preschool. But on Monday, our 2-year-old starts preschool, so they'll be together, and we'll have 5 hours to run together every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, talk a little bit about that dynamic, like what you guys like give and take from each other in those pacing situations.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I'll ever have had a pacer.
Oh, no.
So, for some reason, I pick 100Ks that don't give belt buckles and 100Ks that don't allow racers, or pacers. So, I'm really looking forward. Chris is like gung-ho on strategy and all that stuff. He's super geeked out. Amanda... If I have a day she's hoping to hang. And if she'll hang, because she's a gamer. But she said if you need to drop me.
Justin, what shoes are you going to be wearing for the race this weekend?
Oh, so this is, it breaks my heart a little bit, because this will be the first race I'll ever run in carbon. I don't know if I can say I'm anti-carbon because my sponsor makes carbon shoes, but I really worry about the sports integrity at like the high school level, wearing a $300 pair of shoes or high $200 pair of shoes, because I came into the sport as a high schooler, and I don't think my parents would have bought me those shoes. So if a kid was getting a 4% advantage, maybe I wouldn't have gotten like high up in the state meet to get a scholarship to run in college and go to medical school and all those things, coming from like a lower middle class family, whatever you call it. So I'll wear carbon mainly because I know all the competitors are wearing them, and they're super fast. They're like freaky fast, and it kind of terrifies me that I'm gonna like break a lever because I'm old, like just tear some tendon off the bone running too fast. But we'll see.
Well, we hope that does not happen tomorrow. I think we've got full faith in your tendons.
Mont Blanc carbon though, they're a good shoe.
Justin, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck this weekend. I know there are a lot of people who expect big things out of you this weekend, so hopefully you have the day you're hoping for.
Thanks so much for having me and for being out here all day in the heat.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, big fans.
Justin Grunewald. We'll be back here with our next interview here in just a few moments on the Mountain Outpost YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
Yeah.